Alright guys, I am back with my review of this week's WWE Monday Night Raw for October 22nd, 2012. The big go-home show for Hell in a Cell this Sunday. And there's a lot to talk about here, so I'm just going to get right into this one. We have Jim Ross and Michael Cole on commentary, so Lawler is still out. But they start the show off with the big finals for the tag team tournament. And I thought this was a great idea just because they've been building up to this, and it was supposed to happen already, but apparently Rey Mysterio had the flu or something. But we do get Rey and Sin Cara versus Rhodes Scholars, and I thought it was a good match, but the first thing I noticed was Rey Mysterio. Previously, Mysterio and Sin Cara have been dressing like each other. And here, Rey is wearing this green and black outfit. He looked like Reptile from Mortal Kombat, and just completely stood out. So I don't think they're going to be a tag team much longer. But there was a cool spot in this match where Rey is holding Sandow across the ropes and Sin Cara goes up for a springboard moonsault. And when he went up for this, I'm just thinking, please don't botch. Please do not botch this move, because that's the last thing Sin Cara needs right now. But yeah, so Mysterio hits a double 619. JR says, want to make a call? Get the phone and call somebody. He was just saying crazy things throughout the night. And Mysterio hits the splash on Cody. Sandow breaks up the count with his body, throws it in the way of the ref's hand. Cody hits Crossroads on Sin Cara for the win. Good match here. I knew the Hills would win this one just because Team Hell No are going into the pay-per-view as the faces, and it makes sense to have Rhodes Scholars face them and hopefully win the belts. I do think Rhodes Scholars are going to become new tag team champions this weekend just because this Daniel Bryan and Kane thing, I think it's gone on long enough, and I don't want to see any more damage done to Daniel Bryan being stuck in this. So, I also think that they've been building up this tag team tournament. Excuse me. They've been building up this tag team tournament, and it wouldn't make sense for the winners to just lose their shot after all this build. So, I think they should probably have the winners of the tag team tournament go over here, Rhodes Scholars become new tag team champions, split up Kane and Daniel Bryan before you do way too much damage to Daniel Bryan. For Kane, it's too late. The damage has been done, not just because of this, but because of all the crap they've done to him already. Just the list goes on and on of all the stupid things they've had Kane do. But for Daniel Bryan, he still has a chance to be a serious, legitimate heel or a face, and I just think it's going to be too much if they continue this, and it's going to end up like R-Truth. And I would hate to see that happen, so hopefully they split them up, they can face each other, and then Daniel Bryan can move on to bigger and better things. But, oh man, they come on the screen, and it's Daniel Bryan and Kane, and they're talking to the Rhodes Scholars, and they say, do you think you're going to win the titles? Hell no, they say. And then Kane puts Daniel Bryan behind him, and Daniel Bryan is acting like he can't get out or something. It was stupid. It didn't make any sense. Kane is seriously just standing there. Daniel Bryan's behind him, and like he can't move to the side. It was just ridiculous. I could not believe this. So, Kane sets off his pyro, and that was the end of this segment. We get Kofi versus Michael McGillicuddy. Miz is on commentary. Kofi wins with Trouble in Paradise. Not much more to say about this. John Cena comes out and says Punk wanted change, and Ryback will change the face of the WWE this Sunday. So Punk comes out, cuts a great promo. He puts down the Giants to get some heat. I thought this was good. He promises to keep his belt this Sunday against Ryback. And he says that he likes Cena's new role as Ryback's cheerleader. And Cena says that he could beat Punk, but he wasn't allowed in the Hell in a Cell match, and he didn't want to mess with it, but now he's been medically cleared, and he wants to face Punk right now. So Punk heads to the ring like he's going to face Cena, but of course he does the heel thing and leaves instead of face him. Antonio versus Justin Gabriel. JR says Antonio says no American can beat him, but he didn't say anything about any South American. Except Justin Gabriel is from South Africa. So that was pretty funny. And Gabriel actually hits the 450 for the win here. I did not see this happening. They've really been pushing Antonio hard. And Justin Gabriel just beat him here. I guess this is a potential feud in the future. It is very surprising. I have no problems with Justin Gabriel, but it's just the company doesn't seem to really put a lot of faith in him, so I was very surprised to see him go over. We see Vince McMahon. He arrives, and after commercial, Vince and AJ are in the ring, and she has to resign because of rumors that she's been sleeping with an employee. I was thinking Punk, but no, there's much more to this. And she says these allegations are false, but she understands that she could have been fired a long time ago because she's been so shitty, really. She thanks Vince for the opportunity, thanks the fans, WWE. And then Paul Heyman comes out. He puts down AJ. He did a great job here. And he says that the WWE needs a new general manager. He wants the job. Vince says no. And then Vince introduces the new managing supervisor, which is the same exact thing as general manager, apparently. And it's Vicky Guerrero. And the first thing I'm thinking when I see this is AJ has to resign because she was sleeping or having an affair or something with a person on the roster. So they're giving the job to Vicky, who slept with Edge and is rumored to be sleeping with Dolph. Like, what's the difference here? I don't even think they know. It was really, I know I'm reading too much into this, and stupid shit like this happens in WWE all the time, but it's just the first thing that popped into my head was Vicky did the same thing. That's like what she was famous for, was sleeping with Edge, and now Dolph. That's why the gimmick continued onto Dolph, was because of the Edge one. So, I don't know. But Heyman asked Vicky to give Punk his choice for who he's going to face at the Hell in a Cell match. And she says no. Heyman says Ryback is a punk-eating carnivore. Why would he say that about his own guy? It just didn't make any sense. And she makes Punk versus Sheamus for tonight in the largest lumberjack match in Raw history. She puts down AJ again and tells her to leave, and AJ attacks Vicky. Then we get Ryback versus Miz. Miz acts really afraid to face Ryback, but eventually he does. And this was a little experience for Ryback on, I guess, putting on not really a longer match, but where he's going to have to sell a little bit more. After watching this, I still have no idea how long they're going to be able to go at Hell in a Cell. Because Ryback is very limited right now. And it's going to be, oh man, this Punk has his work cut out for him Sunday, trying to carry Ryback in this match, because the selling isn't even good, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be an interesting match, that's for sure. But he hits Shell Shocked for the win. Caitlyn goes to see Eve. Eve is on the phone and said she's heard rumors about AJ sleeping with Zack Ryder and even Primo. Caitlyn shows Eve the pictures she took. I think it was an email of Eve hiring someone to take Caitlyn out, something like that. Eve slaps her, they start fighting, Layla gets in the fight. We see Sheamus and Matthews backstage with a brawling buddy. Big Show comes up and punches the doll. And Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler is the next match. This was a good match, I like this one. Daniel Bryan takes a suplex over the top rope, sells a knee injury. This causes Kane to come out and stand in his corner. Dolph actually hits a facebuster on Bryan off the top rope. And Kane starts a yes chant, I guess to help Daniel Bryan. He's been with the guy for a long time now. He knows he hates the yes chant. Why would he try to do this to help Daniel Bryan? So of course Daniel Bryan gets distracted. Dolph Ziggler hits the zigzag on him from the second rope. Wins the match. That was it, really. Afterwards, Kane and Daniel Bryan start arguing. Stryker comes out, tells them that Vicky has a surprise. They're going to compete in a therapeutic game show called the Newly Tag Game. This segment here, oh my god. Their opponents are going to be the Rhodes Scholars. So it's supposed to be like the Newlywed Game. They're a newly formed team, and I don't know. It was just a way to kill time, basically. And Rhodes Scholars come out and do the smart thing and refuse to be in this, which kind of made Daniel Bryan and Kane look stupid since they agreed to do this ridiculous game show. And because Rhodes Scholars quit, Daniel Bryan and Kane win by default. Daniel Bryan starts a yes chant to no reaction. After this, the people could care less. They just weren't into this anymore. And Stryker goes to leave. He says he doesn't wish them luck on Sunday. And he backs into the Big Show, who just throws him across the ramp. So this leads us to Big Show versus Kane. And Big Show calls a fan a hobbit. Rhodes Scholars come back out. Kane gets distracted. He gets punched in the face, and Big Show wins. The Rhodes Scholars beat up Daniel Bryan, and Cody hits a crossroads on him. And that was the end of it, but what really was odd here was just how afraid Daniel Bryan acted when he saw the Rhodes Scholars. And maybe it's just me, but when these guys were walking towards the ring and Kane was getting distracted, Daniel Bryan looked like he just saw a ghost. Like he was scared as hell of these two guys. So it was just a really odd thing to see here. I don't know why they did this. Maybe it was just Daniel Bryan. He thought it was a good idea, but it just made him look really weak, that he was kind of begging off. Just very strange. Cena tells AJ she should have fought to keep her job, and she says that the allegations were she was having an affair with him, with John Cena. Cena says it was just dinner. It was a business dinner. Oh, man. She starts crying. He says he will take care of it. So Cena goes to see Vince, and Vince says there was incriminating evidence. Cena says it was just a business dinner. And Vince says it is what it is. That's how we explain angles now in the WWE. It is what it is. Just fucking go with it, Cena. Del Rio versus Zack Ryder. Ryder taps to the armbar. Del Rio starts yelling about how he's going to cut off Orton's head. That little snake at Hell in a Cell. He puts Ryder back in the armbar. So shouldn't the referee reverse the decision? I mean, that's what they've been doing. If they refuse to break the hold or get out of the ring, the ref was reversing decisions. Now I guess they don't care anymore. Cena goes to see Vicky. He tells her it was a business dinner. And Vicky says that Cena cost AJ her job. Dolph tells Matthews he always thought AJ was a good egg, but there are consequences for her actions, and he blames Cena for this. Backstage, Punk is upset he has to do the lumberjack match before Hell in a Cell. So we get the main event, Sheamus versus Punk, lumberjack match. I guess they needed the lumberjacks for the finish, but I don't really think they needed this stip. They could have done something a lot simpler than have all these lumberjacks out there. I don't really care for lumberjack matches. You know how it's going to go. The heels, the faces, they're going to fight each other. They're going to get involved. It's always the same. So I really do not care to ever see another lumberjack match. And this was right after the one on SmackDown. So really, but this was champion versus champion. The largest lumberjack match in Raw history. And the crowd could care less. I mean, this crowd was very quiet for this main event. I was surprised. It was a good match. It started a little slow, but it was a good match. But the crowd just was not into this at all. Sheamus actually clubbed the crap out of CM Punk here, too. Sheamus goes for the Brogue Kick, and Cesaro runs in, gets taken down. Jinder Mahal runs in and gets taken down. And while the ref is dealing with this, Big Show choke slams Sheamus. Punk covers him for the win. Ryback comes out. So Ryback comes out. Punk keeps trying to escape. The babyfaces keep throwing him back in or feeding him to Ryback. And Ryback hit this sick-ass powerbomb on CM Punk. I mean, this was nasty. And I saw that and I'm like, my God, what has Punk gotten himself into this Sunday? I mean, he's going to walk out of there feeling like he got hit by a car just because of the way Ryback works. I feel sorry for him. So they keep throwing him back in. Eventually he escapes, and that was it. That was the end of Raw. That was the big go-home show. Not really a bad show. The newly tag game, or whatever they called it, was... oh man, that was bad. But most of the show I did enjoy, and Cena... it was a business dinner. I mean, what more do you got to say? So, yeah, anyway, that's my review of this week's WWE Monday Night Raw. Hope you guys like this video. I'll have my predictions up for Hell in a Cell very soon. So leave your thoughts on this week's show in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Bye. Alright guys, I am back with my review of this week's WWE Monday Night Raw for October 22nd, 2012. The big go-home show for Hell in a Cell this Sunday. And there's a lot to talk about here, so I'm just going to get right into this one. We have Jim Ross and Michael Cole on commentary, so Lawler is still out. But they start the show off. Mysterio and Sin Cara have been dressing like each other. And here, Rey is wearing this green and black outfit. He looked like Reptile from Mortal Kombat. And just completely stood out. So I don't think they're going to be a tag team much longer. But there was a cool spot in this match where Rey is holding Sandow across the ropes and Sin Cara goes up for it. Mysterio hits the splash on Cody. Sandow breaks up the count with his body, throws it in the way of the ref's hand. Cody hits Crossroads on Sin Cara for the win. Good match here. I knew the Hills would win this one just because Team Hell No are going into the pay-per-view as the faces, and it makes sense to have Rhodes Scholars face them. And hope for Springboard Moonsault. And when he went up for this, I'm just thinking, please don't botch. Please do not botch this move, because that's the last thing Sin Cara needs right now. But yeah, so Mysterio hits a double 619. JR says, want to make a call? Get the phone and call somebody. He was just saying crazy things throughout the night. And with the big finals for the tag team tournament. And I thought this was a great idea just because they've been building up to this, and it was supposed to happen already, but apparently Rey Mysterio had the flu or something. But we do get Rey and Sin Cara versus Rhodes Scholars, and I thought it was a good match, but the first thing I noticed was Rey Mysterio. Previously,